We've got a bit to talk about here. In contrast to when I did the last update about the fight, where it was mostly looking positive, the fight is now a bit of a coin toss whether it's going to happen or not. I don't really know whether this fight will actually happen. I would say it's a bit of a 50-50, a coin toss like I said. So it's more negative than last time. But hope isn't lost. You know, both teams remain hopeful of a breakthrough within the next few days. If nothing is done within early of next week, then the teams will likely move on. So let's start from when my last update ended. So teams were fielding offers from obviously foreign countries. The main one that came out was obviously Saudi Arabia, and Usyk closed his side of the deal with the Saudi Arabians, but it seemed like Fury's deal took a bit longer to deal with, which is not particularly a surprise. Fury was demanding big money for this fight, obviously exaggerating with the 500 million figure that he's came up before, but he did want some big cash for this, and it never seemed like his deal closed, because a few weeks ago, I'm not exactly sure about the date, it was announced that the fight would no longer be taking place in Saudi Arabia and would be looking more likely to go to Wembley. So until the deal with the Saudi Arabians collapse, it was looking mostly positive. But now it's going to Wembley. You would think, well, now we know where it's going to take place. Let's sign up, let's sign the deals and get this fight announced. Not quite. The problem is, with Wembley, the guaranteed purse would be much smaller. And after already taking a gander at what the Saudi Arabians can give you in terms of money, then going to Wembley is going to be far less desirable, even with the gate revenue and the pay-per-view sales, which would bring in good money. But may I remind you, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury were now meant to fight on the 14th of August in 2021 in Saudi Arabia for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Remember, that was supposed to happen, but Wilder's arbitration got in the way. Anyway, the guaranteed purse for that was $75 million each. And that was from the site fee. And that's not even including pay-per-view and gate revenue. So that's the kind of money they're looking at. Even the biggest of pay-per-view and gate revenues at Wembley won't satisfy the fighters to that kind of standard with the money that they'll be getting at Saudi Arabia. I heard somewhere that they'll be getting the site fee was in excess of $170 million. I'm not sure how true that is. As to why it collapsed in Saudi Arabia, there's a multitude of reasons. No one can seem to pinpoint one reason exactly why the fight didn't happen there. One of the reasons that came out is that the fight was going to be in a purpose-built stadium called Jeddah Stadium, and they were unable to confirm whether it would be ready for April 29th. So with that, they decided to go to Wembley. But also, Fury, we know, is very difficult in negotiations in terms of money demands. It was also claimed by some other people that Fury's demands were just simply too much and the Saudis weren't willing to give it to him. That's also another theory that's been reported. I don't think anyone besides obviously the promoters and managers know exactly why the fight collapsed in Saudi Arabia. So there's the situation there. We have the fight collapse in Saudi Arabia either because of money or the issues with the venue. We don't exactly know. But what we do know is that at that point, the fight in Saudi Arabia looked pretty much dead in the water. And like I said, being in Wembley should be easier, but because of the splits, because of the money, it would be far less of a guarantee. And also, this was always brought up, Fury's team want a bigger cut of the purse. They want 60-40 at Wembley, in contrast to 50-50, which they were willing to give in Saudi Arabia, because Usyk's been there before, and it's a bit of a name there. And Alex Krasik, Usyk's promoter, has said that as long as he's promoting Usyk, he will try and fight for what he considers fair, which is a 50-50 split. So it's a complicated situation in that part. So after that, negotiations dragged on for quite a few weeks. Nothing really new until Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury fight week, where Fury was there to support Tommy Fury. He was in Saudi Arabia, and a post came up, posted by Tyson Fury, saying, "Thank you to Prince Khalid. Some big news coming out of Saudi Arabia soon." This tweet has since been deleted. It's actually still up on his Facebook. I don't know why it was deleted. And also, an interview of Radio Raheem, Prince Khalid and Tyson Fury came out just after the Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight, asking Prince Khalid when the next big fight out of Saudi Arabia would happen. And Prince Khalid said, soon, very soon, you will see it. And then he turned to Tyson Fury with a big grin on his face. And Tyson Fury looked at the camera and he said, very, very soon. So, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it means that the fight could be locked back in Saudi Arabia. Who knows? So anyway, we come to this week. Not much news from the promoters saying we're just working to get this done. Then today, Frank seemed a bit more pessimistic. He still seemed hopeful that the deal would be done, but he wasn't in the usual "this fight will get done" kind of mood. What he basically said was, we're going to have to make a decision on this fight, whether that will be to move on from it or to crack down and get the deal done. We don't know. And Frank Warren also said if it would surprise him if we do not get an announcement of some sort. We're in the early of next week. So what that means, obviously, is an announcement of the fight, which we would love to see, or an announcement that the fight is no longer happening, which we would obviously not like to see. So that is all there really is to it. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. However, what can you say? This is boxing, after all. Hopefully, the fight will get done. But keep your eyes peeled for the next few days. This time next week, we could be sitting here with an announced fight and tickets already up on sale. Who knows? So keep your eyes peeled. Stay tuned.